What's up, everybody? I'm PumaPete of Friendly Fire Co-op, and while we don't have gameplay footage today, we do still have a quest guide, and today I'm going to show you how to complete the Talking Statues quest in Divinity Original Sin. Alright, and the quest will begin right here near the very beginning of the game at the very first corpse that you'll uncover. There it is on the map. And you're going to want to make sure that you will loot the corpse and pick up the journal from his dead body, the Traveler's Journal. Open this up, and after you read it, you'll find out that a statue told him to jump off the cliff and he would be able to fly. Toggle journal, talking statues, there's the quest. It'll also trigger a conversation with your main character, but I'm going to travel up to the Sicile North Gate real quick. I could have ran there, but I'm sure at this point you guys know where Sicile is. If you don't, it's literally the only town you can get to. If you pick that journal up right at the beginning of the game, you won't have this option, but figure I'd save at least a little bit of time. Walk out these doors, which are right by the exit, and at this point I'm going to go ahead and speed the video up so you guys don't have to sit through all this. If you have the Sicile Statues teleport option available, that will obviously be way faster, but odds are you probably don't if you're consulting this quest guide, so run along the path here. Again, I do cut out the combat that I consider to be not important parts of this quest, so run through here. There's Ari's failed experiment. Run up north. I should mention that this is footage from the previous version of the beta, although I'm fairly certain that this quest has not changed, so I believe this quest guide is just as effective as it would be otherwise. We just don't have gameplay footage because we're currently struggling to catch up to the same point that we were at. So you run up here, and you will find 4 barrels and 4 statues around here. And I choose to move the statues or the barrels out of the way whenever I normally do it, but you don't have to. You can talk to the statues, and each one of them will tell you something different about like the future or some type of crazy prediction. But you don't have to talk to any of them. That's just kind of an option. And there you can see in the quest they'll say, found 4 talking statues on the cliff that can't claim to have magical powers. At this point, you can move the barrels, which is what I choose to do right here, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I'm fairly confident that I choose to move these, though, because I usually consider them to be a pain in the butt to deal with during the combat. I honestly do not recall at all exactly how I handle this, so we will find out in a second what I choose to do, or if I just choose to ignore it. I want to say that I telekinesis out of it. The barrels are very heavy. Alright, just kidding. I guess I just ignore it, maybe? I effectively light my characters on fire, so it's definitely an interesting strategy there, I guess. I'll heal Medora up real quick before the fight starts. Yeah, feel free to ignore all of these steps, which honestly had nothing to do with... There we go. Now we're moving stuff, though, and that was kind of the whole point of all this. I like to get the barrels out of the way. If you don't have one of each elemental spell, you will actually need the barrels to trigger some of the statues. So that's something to keep in mind. Oh, and there's me, once again, being an idiot, just damaging everyone on my team. Clearly demonstrating a high amount of ineptitude that I have here, but get all that stuff out of the way. Kind of, I guess. Technically, if it's broken, it's out of the way. But yeah, like I said, you will need those barrels if you don't have each elemental spell, because you will have to be able to cause the elements to appear on any of the 4 statues. Normally you'll be able to do this, I'll show, via any of the elemental targeted spells. So Flare for fire, Ice Shard for water, things of that nature. But if you don't have it, you can use the barrels. So there's the fire statue. I cast Flare over there, and a fire elemental will now spawn. So there he is. This fight, I recommend doing each demon one at a time. You can trigger a bunch at once and fight them all, but that can get pretty hectic, actually. So try not to do that if you can. And again, I am playing on easy mode, so this fight will probably seem pretty easy to you guys here. But if you're playing on hard difficulty, it can be a little bit trickier, and that's why I recommend doing one at a time, because it will definitely make it much simpler if you just handle it like that. One important thing to note is how the weaknesses work. So fire is weak to water, and then water is also weak to fire, which is kind of strange. And then earth is weak to air, and air is weak to earth. So the opposite elements, I guess, are weak to each other, which is kind of, might be a bit counterintuitive if you've played other games where, like, oh, well, fire beats or water beats fire, but fire doesn't beat water, which I think is how a lot of games handle elements. But there's that. This will be the water elemental spawning down here. So there he is. I guess they're lesser water demons, not elementals. Um, Same thing, more or less. There we go. Can blast him apart really easily. Again, easy mode. They have very little health, and I'm pretty high level to do this quest. You can do this quest pretty much like before you do the mysterious murder and all that if you want to. I'm doing it afterwards, and that's why I'm kind of rolling through these guys so easily. But I will go ahead and poison dart this guy. I also think it's really weird. This guy clearly does not look like an air demon. It's just my opinion. He looks much more like an earth demon, so I don't know if they have not modeled them properly. Again, this is an older version, so maybe they fix that in a time coming up here, but either way, it's not a big deal, and we'll be able to take him out pretty easily. As you kill them in your journal, I think it pops up like, oh, you completed, here we go, I check right there, free and defeated each demon one at a time, but there's no reason to actually check between each one. It doesn't do anything special. And this is me being an idiot hitting the earth one with an air spell because I'm not paying attention. And then I realize my mistake, switch to the poison dart, which is a bit tricky to aim. Pretty sure I have to just get right up close and personal to the statue, and then I blast the statue there. Again, if you don't have all of these spells, place the respective barrel on each one. Just put the fire one on the fire pedestal and all of that good stuff, and then you can just auto attack it. I recommend from afar so that you don't, get caught in the fire, but anything will work. It'll still spawn the demon. And after all 4 demons have been defeated, that cave pops up. But at this point, the quest is done. There you see the journal's completed, and you can go into the cave if you want, but technically that is not part of the quest. So at this point, the quest guide is over. And at this time at the end, again, I would like to say thank you guys very much for watching. And while I do say there's normally ways to complete the quests in like multiple ways because it's an open world game, I'm pretty sure this is the only way to complete it at the time. You have to defeat all 4 of the demons. Perhaps I'm wrong about that. If I am, feel free to let me know, but I'm pretty sure that that is a true statement. Thank you guys very much for watching, and remember to subscribe if you'd like to see more daily Divinity Original Sin videos and quest guides. Bye.